Commission public, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. Okay, our first order of business is going to be to go into executive session in the other room with the Planning and Zoning Commission and invite Attorney D'Onofrio to go with us. So we are going to be, I don't think it's going to take very long, so we'll be right back. Oh, and the town planner, I guess, he's got to come too. And Colleen comes in? Okay. Rolo, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, we've come out of executive session. There was no votes or anything taken in there, so with that, I'm going to resume the planning and zoning meeting. We're going to take 2 and 3 together. Do you have a call for that?
Yes, one, application for special permit on behalf of Byron Rondo's applicant. Applicant is requesting a special permit pursuant to section 30 and 40 of the zoning regulations for a terrace expansion located at 1721 Highland Avenue, Assessors Map 11, Lot 15, Zone I-1, and 1755 Highland Ave, Assessors Map 11, Lot 17, Zone I-1. 2, application for earth removal, filling, or regrading permit on behalf of Byron Rondo's applicant. Applicant is requesting a permit pursuant to section 25.3.2 of the zoning regulations for earth removal, filling, or regrading of the property located at 1721 Highland Ave, Assessors Map 11, Lot 15, Zoned I-1, and 1755 Highland Ave, Assessors Map 11, Lot 17, Zoned I-1 also.
Thank you. And representing the applicant?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to be recusing myself.
Okay, thanks, John.
Good evening. Is this thing on? It is.
Might have to pull a little closer to you.
Yeah. I'm Jeff Fitzgerald. I'm a professional engineer with Bowler, located at 65 LaSalle Road in West Hartford, Connecticut. With me tonight is Kelly Bonenberger, professional engineer, project manager with our company, and Stan Kubinski with Bergmeyer Architects. And we're just going to talk you through the phase 1 of some improvements going on at Byron Rondo's area here. Just to orientate you, this is Highland Avenue Route 10 on the bottom. North is to the right, and the existing Byron Rondo with the current one-way entrance in here. And what we're here tonight is to get a special permit to allow restaurant use on the adjacent parcel where it's presently these 2 metal buildings, the structural companies in there. This is a blue metal building and a larger one in back. And the idea is to expand the existing outdoor patio with a second outdoor patio that will be in this area. As you'll see, in this smaller building will come down as part of this initial first phase to accommodate that. So what that is going to look like is, here's the existing building, the terrace here, the existing outdoor patio and bar, and there'll be connections to a new outdoor terrace with a similar size bar in this area and we anticipate a quite large water feature in this area. And again, you can see the outline of the existing blue metal building that'll be coming down. And right now, this is basically that building and parking lot for that. So this initial phase is really as you may know, there's larger plans to expand the main restaurant in back, and with that, do additional parking expansions, including more parking on this lot, as well as the adjacent lot to the north. But that's not part of this application. This application is purely to expand the outdoor space. No additional seats will be provided as part of this terrace expansion. The density of the existing seats on the current one will be reduced, and a few, I think, and we'll add seats here. So the net increase will be 0 seats, and therefore no additional parking is being proposed at this time. When the larger application comes in the future for expansions that include the kitchen and some of the restaurant area, at that time we'll have, we'll be adding seats and adding parking associated with it and getting all that. Yes.
Is there any kind of new bus area? Because I know that was an issue in the first patio.
New bus?
Busing station, where they take the dishes and fill water or anything like that.
Stan, the architect who's designing this, says yes, so he's actually up now, and I'm gonna let him describe the visuals here for the proposed terrace that you see on the screen, and then I'll come back after Stan's done and just talk you through how the utilities will run to this new terrace. Stan, right?
And again, Stan Kubinski from Bergmeyer. It's a great question. One of the challenges on the size of that terrace is busing. So here, the plans are to incorporate 2 additional busing stations on this terrace, as well as retrofit additional busing stations on the original terrace, trying to bridge that gap from the building back. So what you can see here is the view back towards the bar. So our back is towards Highland Ave. All the great things that you've experienced at the terrace now will be replicated here. Same stone, same type of flooring, lots of lush plantings. The bar, very similar to the bar that exists there now, similar size structure. I think the next,
Yeah.
I just click that.
Click in that area.
Perfect. This view looks straight across, so our back is at the existing terrace, so taking that larger wall down, expanding across with a couple of walkways, fully accessible as well, and this water feature is in the center of the terrace.
So, as this is phase 1 of a larger expansion, the bar area does need water, electricity, and we're running gas as well. So, and sewer. So that's shown here. There'll be temporary electrical and water service coming in here. There'll be gas service coming in off of the main and the street, as well as a sewer connection, which we've already had our initial approval from WPCA for this connection to the main for the sewer coming out of the new sinks in this bar. There's no restrooms proposed at this time. That'll again come in the future. And again, these are really temporary utility connections to this. And then as the larger kitchen expansion is proposed in this area with the new construction of that, a permanent service to the new terrace will be made. So just a little blow-up of what that looks like is on the final page here. And again, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. If we're taking both applications at the same time, I can just add, the construction of this, as you know, Route 10, as you head north here, is sloping down. So this terrace will be a couple feet lower than the existing one here, and yet this wall here will still be substantial, at least 8 feet along this edge here. So there'll be fill brought in to establish this terrace at that level. And we've estimated that the net fill import for that will be 1,560 cubic yards, initial estimates for that. And so that's what we're looking for as far as our filling permit associated with this.
What are the 3 rectangular features just south of the patio there? Those are covered areas? It says something about tree lines. but-
Right in here.
Yeah,
So if you've been out and experienced the outdoor patio that's presently right here at the restaurant, there's a stone, excuse me, an existing stone wall that is right here, and right behind it, there's the slope there is treed, and there's a mix of evergreen and deciduous trees in there, some significant white pine. The goal of the restaurateur and the landscapers involved out there is to maintain those as much as possible. So we've designed these stairs. We did a tree survey, identified where the good trees are, and we've designed these 2 walkways and the ramp here to avoid those, keep a lot of that so that you get the heavy landscaping feeling from day one, keep that established. There will be supplemental landscaping in the final design, all, in these areas here. So that'll, the goal is to have that same very well landscaped feeling for the outdoor space.
I have a question for you. As far as the parking, our regulations, I was always led to believe that he has much more parking than he needs he doesn't have enough parking, but under our regulations, he has plenty of parking.
Correct.
My question would be, why no additional seats for the new terrace?
Because if you add seats, you add capacity, and we'd,
You mentioned parking, that's why
Yeah.
we're not adding more parking, but I don't think when you figure our regulations, he has plenty of parking if you wanted to add more seats in there. Like, did I read the old bar that's out there, it's the bar, the existing bar that's outside now is coming down to have the new bar here? It doesn't make any sense
no,
to
the
me.
existing bar is staying,
Okay, but it's still 0 seats being added.
correct.
But you
But
don't
we-
have to do that. I don't understand why.
So here's one thing that is triggered. If they add seats, which now means they need to add parking potentially, it triggers DOT under a state permit review for traffic due to the square footage and total number of parking spaces that are on the site. So, and also the other thing is, as the engineer stated earlier, really, this is almost phase one that enables phase two.
I understand that, but what is he required to have now for parking? I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but
I'd have to go.
I always thought he had
He's
numerous. He was
yeah,
way
he's-
over it.
He's
So what is it?
over-parked by your regs, if I
So why
recall.
couldn't he add, 32 more seats in there? Let's say, pick a number, 40 seats in there, and still be under the parking
I think we were
regulation?
being overly careful and oversensitive to make sure that we wanted to get the ability to start construction on this terrace and not have, if people felt that it doesn't have enough parking. So, because sometimes it gets
Oh, I know.
very busy there, so.
But as far as our regulations, he
No
could
bathroom.
add.
You're not running into any bathroom situations or anything
We're not,
by number of occupants. 'cause
correct.
It's staying the
We're not
same.
changing the number of occupants as part of this application. And as the planner now mentioned, my concern also was to not trigger a DOT
Yeah.
review
Major traffic
at this.
generator?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And knowing that we have to deal with that with the larger, with the
Phase-
full build-out, we want to be able to get started before.
Phase two will trigger DOT, and what he really, like I said earlier, this gives him breathing room when he's in phase two. So that's why it's important. I understand the commission's concerns from the
not a
parking
concern.
or seating or question.
Yeah, just-
But really, what this does is this approach, we can deal with DOT at phase two,
Okay.
which we know will be well, I shouldn't
Because
say
you can't
difficult.
avoid it. You
It'll
can't-
just, we're trying to eliminate the headaches up front.
And the other important part is that, yeah, that with phase two expansion being planned, at some point, you're going to lose some seats while that construction's underway. So this gives you the flexibility to
move some
maybe
stuff around.
seat more people outside while we lose some inside in that process.
And both terraces, will they be running at the same time at any point?
Yes,
So you're doubling up your outside capacity?
and you do have the ability to do that if, yeah.
Long-term.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Bowman?
And you've already run this all by the fire marshal?
These plans were shared with the fire marshal, in which we received comments, which have been shared with the applicant. And so then there is a motion in the affirmative for approval, and I just incorporated the fire marshal's comments.
And we're fine with all those comments.
That's all good. But this is where I have a problem. And I know we haven't even gotten there, so, but it's a question I have. Any outdoor heating devices shall be UL listed, absolutely, and listed for the intended use. Why does it have to be approved by the fire marshal if it's approved by UL Labs?
For the,
And it's already there, they're already being used, and we're not increasing the seating.
I think that's a cautious condition, because all the external propane heaters that they use out there are all UL listed.
No, I know,
So I think
I have
that's
a
just
mechanical
making sure.
contractor's license, I understand.
So,
You just want to put it on record.
I just think.
yeah, you don't, I mean, these are suggested conditions. If the commission has a concern with it, we can remove that from,
Okay.
so, I mean, if you want to go through those with the applicant right now, I mean, you can. If you have any,
I'm going through these things, you know, we've listened to this for the first time, and, you know, the occupant load of existing terrace and proposed terrace, and that's number 4, should be calculated by the architect engineer and reported to the fire marshal and the building official. If it's not changing, why is that even in there? See, I think there's too many outside agencies putting their fingers on things that have what we have to approve, and that's just my opinion. And those are the two that stick out the most to me.
so you have the applicant in agreement with these comments that were from the fire marshal, but if the commission doesn't want those 2 conditions on there, we can remove those as conditions of approval.
Or just find out why, you know,
Yeah,
are they supposed to be in there,
why?
or are they reaching a little too far?
Yeah, you know what, that could be an offline conversation. We don't
Yeah.
put it as a condition of approval, and I'll deal with that at a staff level.
Like, is it something that, like, I think what he's trying to say is that really something we need there? I mean, is that something that he has to check? If
Usually
the
the-
restaurant guy wants to put that stuff there, does he have to
Yeah,
check with the fire marshal?
usually those areas, the fire marshal, that'll get posted, you know, your occupancy load for the space. And then if it exceeds what that occupancy load, it becomes an issue from a fire prevention perspective, which then the fire marshal can shut a business down if they don't follow their occupancy requirements, which we've had one other business in town recently that we've had to deal with that issue. If the commission has heartache on it, and that's something that's fire prevention code, it's not a zoning matter in that sense, we can take that out. And like I said, I'll have that conversation offline with the fire marshal and report back to this group.
I don't want to hold anything up.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, like, that,
I don't want to hold anything up. We can. You don't want to hold anything up. Not that I don't speak loud enough that it can't be picked up, but I think these are some of the things that maybe you need to address prior to it getting to us.
yeah, I'll talk to them about
Thank you.
that and clarify.
Commission members, any other questions? I'm sorry, Mr. Selma.
Real quick, you answered part of it. I know that there's a big drop off there. So you're raising that up. And is that, you're going to kind of be at the roof line of the building behind it, no? Like, how's that going to work?
No, of this one?
Yeah.
No, this climbs up, not only does it falls off as you head north in this area, but this climbs up pretty high. This,
Oh, okay.
This is climbing up.
And he's going to put trees or
So-
plantings or
so
something there?
This sits higher. There's
Eventually, yeah.
landscaping and other, access to this area proposed as part of this Phase 2 expansion.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Public? Anyone from the public? Or one audience member? Anything further? No?
Nothing.
Okay, and then I think I'm going to close the public hearing. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. Moved by Mr. Kaderis, seconded by Mr.
Bowman?
Selman, one of the two. All right, I'd like to call to order the Planning and Zoning regular meeting for Monday, July 14th, 2025. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes of the public hearing and regular meeting from June 23rd, 2025? Moved by Mr. Kaderis, seconded by Mr. Mercado. Any discussion on the motions? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. I am very comfortable with voting for this. How does everyone
I
else
am.
feel?
Yep.
Okay. Can we hear the motions for the Viron's
Motion to approve application for a special permit on behalf of Ira Rondo's applicant. Applicant's requesting special permit pursuant to Section 30 and 40 of the zoning regulations for a terrace expansion located at 721 Highland Avenue, Assessors Map 11, Lot 5, Zone I-1, and 755 Highland Avenue, Assessors Map 11, Lot 17, Zone I-1. The commission finds, based on the presentation and documents provided, the applicant has demonstrated compliance to the Cheshire zoning regulations. The approval is based on plans titled Site Development Plans for Rondo Realty LLC Proposed Terrace Expansion, prepared by Bowler, dated June 10th, 2025. Approval is subject to the following conditions. 1, no propane tanks shall or will be changed while the terrace is occupied by the public. 2, all propane tanks not in use shall be stored and locked and protected in cage away from structures and protected from physical or vehicular damage. 3, the applicant schedule a pre-construction meeting with town staff prior to the start of site work. And 4, the commission authorized staff to approve minor changes to landscaping, grading, utilities, and/or lighting on their behalf. Said changes are to be made in writing and approved by town staff prior to implementation at the site.
Moved by Caderas, seconded by Mercado. Discussion on this motion. Always nice to see a thriving business in town. I believe everybody will be supporting. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? I forgot to mention too, no, that's the first one. Mr. Hilsinger abstained from that vote, so. Next motion, please.
Motion to approve application for earth removal, filling, and regrading permit on behalf of Iron Rondo's applicant. Applicant's requesting permit pursuant to Section 25 of the zoning regulations for earth removal, filling, or regrading at the property of 721 Highland Avenue, Assessors Map 11, Lot 15, Zone I-1, and 1755 Highland Avenue, Assessors Map 11, Lot 17, Zone I-1. Approvals based on plans titled Site Development Plans for Rondo Realty LLC, Proposed Terrace Expansion prepared by Bowler, dated June 10th, 2025. The commission finds that based on the information provided, the applicants demonstrated compliance with the Cheshire zoning regulations. In granting the approval for filling or regrading, the commission issues a waiver pursuant to Section 2559 for filling or regrading within 50 feet of a property line.
Moved by Mr. Mercado, seconded by Mr. Caderas. Discussion on this motion. Very small amount of fill being added. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Mr. Hilsinger abstaining. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. New business, pre-application discussion?
Yeah, you actually have Kevin Hecht, property owner here, who wants to have a conversation with the commission. Just before Kevin starts, I'm just going to go over the 2 applications that you're being received tonight. If that's okay, Attorney Hecht? One is you have an application on behalf of Elam Park for a new maintenance facility. They're demoing the existing one, relocating it. That'll be heard in 2 weeks. The other is a petition for his own text amendment on behalf of Hydrolux Specialty, Cheshire Specialty Growers there. He has submitted an application. I'm asking that we hold off on setting that public hearing until September 8th. I have to do some referrals to the COG. We don't have enough time to do that in 2 weeks, so, and you don't meet in August, so. Okay,
All right.
I'll give the floor now.
Hold on
to
up, Kevin.
An attorney dropped off a package.
Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission. My name is Kevin Hecht. I'm here this evening to have an informal discussion with you, which I understand is non-binding to the commission. I just wanted to assess your thoughts on whether or not you would be favorably persuaded, I guess, if properly presented, to accept the zone text change application for Section 30, Schedule A, permitted uses, Paragraph 7, assisted living, convalescent homes, and the like, licensed by the state of Connecticut, subject to conditions which would be appropriate. What prompts me to come here this evening is I own 2 pieces of property on South Main Street in Cheshire, and neither one of them meet the requirements for the development of this type of structure and use. under the current zone text. So I have met with Mr. Glidden and Mr. Martelli a couple of times. I've trying to come up with a use for the properties that I own in addition to my law office, which I will continue to use as my law office, for basically the back piece. I have a total of .166 acres between the front piece and the back piece. Front piece is 220 South Main Street, back piece is 222 South Main Street, although it doesn't have any frontage except over 220, and it has an access to the private road known as Old Town. So the back piece, which is the piece to be primarily developed, would not be really conducive to commercial, like a store, strip mall, something like that. Just because of its location, you have to go down a private road or over 220 South Main. So I've sort of struggled with how to develop the back piece primarily with some other use other than high-density housing. So this is something I came up with, and as I looked at the regulation, I thought, what's the purpose of having, requiring, 10 acres of requirement or 5 acres if located on a state highway? It doesn't make any sense. I went through how we got here in the regulations. I looked at other towns, Simsbury, Avon, Glastonbury, Farmington, all those towns, I shouldn't say all, but those towns permit this type of use in other than a residential development. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to limit it just to residential. So, just want to.
This is a discussion, right? It's a discussion.
Kevin, I may call you Kevin, right? Okay. Kevin, that was a separate lot, correct?
Pardon?
That was always a separate lot with separate ownership, correct?
Yes, yes. The 220 South Main Street is owned by KJH Corp. The back lot, 222, is Kevin J. Hecht. I've always
Yeah, but
maintained.
it's always been two separate lots.
Two separate lots, yes.
So, and so you want to come in with something other than residential? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I'd like to come in with something which would, to have the zone, the zoning regulations amended to permit this type of development, in paragraph 7, in other than a residential zone. Right now, it's only permitted in a residential zone. So I'm asking if the commission would be amenable to a zone text change to have this type of use in a C1 zone by special permit.
And Kevin, I'm sorry,
Yep.
because I'm confused. This is already a C1 zone, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Both properties are
Already a
C1.
C1 zone, you don't want to put residential on there, you want to put a commercial use on there. It's a existing lot of record, what am I missing?
What he wants to do is a convalescent use, assisted living. That's the section of the regs that he's provided you. It's not allowed under your current regs due to the size of the property. It's allowed if it met the certain criteria. So he has someone who's interested in potentially a use that's not allowed. So Attorney Hecht is here tonight just to kind of gauge, before he spends any time any further going down this road, where the commission feels on such a change.
And the zone text change would not be for a C1 use, it would be just particular to this parcel.
No.
It would be for the C1 district.
It would allow, it would allow by special permit this use in a C1 zone.
Why couldn't you just change the lot to an R20 or an R40 zone? It's right bordering it, isn't it?
Well, interesting, I was at the town hall today. I didn't have time, and I didn't go back and look at it as I was coming here this evening, but I believe when I first acquired these two pieces, the back piece 222 was a bifurcated line. It was residential to the east and commercial to the west. Somewhere along the lines, and I don't believe there was ever an official meeting, public hearing for for that to be changed. But right now, on the zoning map, it shows both of my pieces as a C1. So that's another,
But Old Town is
is residential.
But
is
here's-
R40 or R20?
It's R20 over there, but
Yeah,
here's the
that's right.
dilemma, though.
Yeah,
Even
and
if-
it's bordering it, right? It's bordering,
So even if he were to change it to R20, you still have some of the,
5 acres.
the criteria in this regs that he does not meet.
So that's one of the things that I would anticipate maybe in a zone text change, if you were amenable to, looking at that favorably, would be to say, a C1 which is adjacent to residentially zoned property or something like that. So you continue that sort of a use from strict residential to kind of a hybrid of residential and business, because elder care is a business. So that could be sort of a transition zone, if you will, or a transition use, I guess, between the residential and the commercial.
How many units would you be looking at, Kevin?
Well, so I have 1 acre back, in the back piece, and I have .66 in the front, so 1.66 total. There's a couple of ways it could be done. You could do it as, I am in the SDD, so you could have a combined use of professional office or some commercial in the front, combine the two lots, so it's a 1.66 piece, so you could have an acre and a half minimum. You could do that, maintain a professional office or some other commercial use in the front and then in the rear. This would be kind of what I would call a boutique type thing. That's what the prospective operator would like to do. So I would say it would be a maximum of 40 residents. 40.
40.
40, yes. Because they're very small, it's assisted living, convalescent care. They're not a lot of space, but this is sort of high-quality, exceptional care in a much smaller environment that exists anywhere else in town and in most towns.
On your 1.66 acres, approximately, what would your coverage be? I'm intrigued by this. I'm not opposed to this. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get
Coverage?
some particulars.
I guess maybe because we're really at a conceptual level in the
I
discussion.
understand.
What's your feelings on him pursuing potentially this text amendment? He would have to change something that would fit the subject property in order to qualify for it. No.
But he's in a special zone already.
I'm in an SDD, Special Design District, but the use is not permitted in the Special Design District.
How many other properties potentially could be affected?
C1, you're talking about, it's just really the center. It's basically from his office to here.
That's
So,
it? 'Cause
yeah.
it's just
This
the
is the,
SDD.
that is, your C1 zoning district is the smallest zoning district in town. It's basically just a few properties on the east side of Route 10 that are zoned C1,
Up to Academy Road?
up to Academy.
Up to
So-
Academy Road.
So this,
I'm
So it's
gonna
a
ask you
very
again.
small universe
Up to Academy
that this is
Road.
affected.
right, so there's two things. You could, if properly drafted, you could be fairly stringent, and that it had to be adjacent to residential property, which not many of them are, and couldn't be have frontage on a state highway. I mean, I don't think me or anybody else here probably wants to eliminate any C1 on Route 10. I don't know, but that would not be the plan here. It would be to have that C1 that has Route 10 frontage. Mine's kind of unique, and it doesn't have Route 10 frontage, but it's 220, that piece is 222 South Main Street. So I guess, and the big thing what really made me look at this is, on the flip side, a very little C1, which this would apply to, there's very few parcels in town where you could do any assisted living or convalescent care remaining that meet these criteria that are currently in your regulations.
You're in a historic district?
No, I'm not.
You are not.
I'm not in a historic district.
And you're not going to make any changes to the existing home?
Your office.
You're gonna knock the front building down?
No.
Oh,
No,
wait a minute.
no. So we,
I know it's all conceptual.
right, no, but, good question. So the intention here would be for me to leave my, even though it's not a historical district, my historic building
Yes.
intact. That would still, when you go down Route 10, that's what you're gonna see. The building that would be in the rear, if you will, that would be sort of a colonial-style building that could accommodate that level of care for those people. Pardon? Yes,
You have the right of way
yes.
for that
has the
now.
right of way.
Correct. Right,
So you're coming out to a light anyway.
right, correct.
Maybe. Yeah, well, I mean, so I guess here's the question. Here's the question to the commission. Would you rather see him do a text amendment to the assisted living section of the regs, or maybe tailor something to fit the SDD regs? Since he qualifies, this is a property that has more than an acre and a half, so we'll work on something.
Then what other properties for, it has to be C1 STD, that,
We could,
SDD, not STD.
we, calm down now. All of you. Just because it burns, then we don't have to hear about it.
Academy Road is the cutoff, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So, went back and forth a little bit. So I'm sensing that there is not a lot of interest in a zone text amendment.
No.
Okay.
This was a pain in the ass to do, so I'm saying, I'm gonna keep that.
Well, it's really not that good,
Going on.
Mr. Strollo.
Yeah, but I remember the meetings, so, but I think that if we do the district already, I think that's a big
So,
tailor-made.
so we'll have an offline conversation. We'll start looking at something
Concept's
through.
good, because
Let's
that's what
talk.
we've been talking about, is commercial, residential, that's what we've been talking about. That's the big deal, everybody wants to do that.
Protecting that house.
Yeah,
Right.
But
Yeah,
what I'm
I have-
saying is, this was
I know.
designed because, you know, of Elam Park, the other, I mean, that
Yeah.
have this big, you're not doing that, your specialty.
Right,
is
it's,
small.
I would call this boutique care
Yeah,
in
and
a
then-
smaller
and then you're in the center
environment.
of town, which
So-
I like that.
So
You know, that-
what we'll do is, we'll have a conversation, we'll follow up, and then before Kevin gets any further, he'll come back just to do a quick prelim conversation with the commission again, to make sure that we're still going the right direction.
But in fairness, I'd like to get this done before I need to move in. I'm getting there.
It's his insurance plan.
So as long as we're informal, but can I say that some of the gentlemen commissioners are starting to look a lot like their dads did? I think of a few as I look across, so you're serving the town well, thank you. Is there any other questions or any direction that you want to give me? And Mike, do you have an
I'm
idea
sure
what they want?
There'll be more discussion, but at least you got what you want, that we're interested in.
Okay,
You satisfied, Kevin?
yes, I mean, so
Okay.
I guess my sense is you're not opposed to this kind of use on that property? All right,
No.
thank you.
All right, no, hold on a sec.
What did he move?
He wants
to move.
I didn't get a motion to approve yet. No. I just wanted to let everyone know that the Planning Zoning Commission and the Wetlands Commission is involved in a golf match tomorrow for the Town Cheshire Cup.
And we have a trader.
It's a little surprising to me that the town planner can't play with the Wetlands Commission or the Planning and Zoning Commission, but he's actually playing for the town council, which I don't know, but
Well,
I
well,
don't understand it, but, you know, I
but-
just wanted you all to know that we'll update you throughout the day, and we'll see how we go.
I just want to note,
Is there such
We-
a motion, Patty?
we did win the hometown rivalry cup last year, so we have to defend it. So, that's the only reason. And I'll blame it on the police chief for leaving, otherwise I'd be
We're
with,
through with you.
I feel that motion to censure should be leaving.
think Mr. Gutierrez moved for adjournment.
What other thing?
Motion by Mr.
Bowman
Caderas,
seconded.
Mr. Bowman seconded, and everyone's in favor.